In this video, we'll be looking at the best crypto exchanges to use. I'll be showing you centralized exchanges like Binance, decentralized exchanges if you want to use the blockchain, and then comparing their use cases, their trading fees, and everything else important to know. If you need to know which exchange to use, this video is for you, and I'll leave timestamps for everything below. Firstly, I want to come to centralized exchanges. We're all going to need a centralized exchange to get money in and out of crypto. And so there's three main things to look at with centralized exchanges, in my opinion. The first is trading fees, or the total cost of your trading. So that's trading fees plus any other costs or spreads that they put in between the buy and sell price. The second thing is fiat currency support. So how easy is it to get money in and out of them? And then the third thing is trustworthiness and reliability, because that's also incredibly important when putting your money on a platform. And so let's look at that initially. What we're going to do is go over to DeFi Llama, and I'll link this in the description. All of the platforms that I talk about in this video are linked in the description as well. Many have trading bonuses, sign up and deposit bonuses. So check all the links below for all of those details. But what we're going to do firstly is go to DeFi Llama, then go down to centralized exchange transparency. And this is a third-party site that shows us all of the exchanges that give us data about what they hold in terms of client assets. All of this is what's known as zero knowledge proofs. So all of these exchanges show us the blockchain addresses where they keep client assets, and they do this through zero knowledge proofs. So they prove that they own the assets or they have them under their control without revealing other bits of data. But we can see here a list of the largest exchanges, with Binance being by far the biggest, going down to OKX, Bybit, as you can see here. So what we can see is their inflows and outflows, how much they hold, how much they say they hold versus what they prove to hold, and everything like that. And then you can see the flows over time. So I'll leave this linked in the description. You can go through and see each and every exchange and exactly how they're performing over time in terms of what are the assets that they hold for clients, are people depositing, withdrawing, and do they hold what they actually say they do. So you can see all of this very easily on a site like DeFi Llama. CoinGecko is also good to see data like this as well. All of the top exchanges I've chosen for this video have proof of reserves online that you can see, except for Coinbase. But Coinbase are a publicly listed entity, and so they get audited by the top 3 accounting firms. We can also assume they are not doing anything crazy, and so all of these should have very good backup in terms of what they say they hold versus what they actually hold. Now, in terms of trading fees, you can see them all laid out here. There are many VIP tiers. If you trade more, as in 50 to 100,000 a month, you are going to be receiving big discounts on your trading fees. These are the main trading fees that most traders will pay though. You'll be paying around 0.1% or below. So if you trade $10,000, you'll be paying around $10 in trading fees only, or below that. Binance actually have amongst the lowest, which is 0.075%. Now you can see the others stacked up against them. A difference here is CeX, which actually has 0%, both on maker and taker side, for its trading fees. What I would say here is that it's not just trading fees that are your cost as a trader. You also have to take in mind something called the spread, which is the price difference between buying and selling. And also, is the exchange actually running market makers against you in order to try and take more money out of your order? Of course, an exchange cannot charge you 0% because that's not a business. There must be some charge here. And so 0% may either be an incentive short term, or they're actually just widening out the spread a little bit, and your total cost would be around the same. So 0% is great, but what we want to look at is the total cost. Binance for me are amongst the cheapest because they have very tight spreads. They have very good price discovery for all of the assets, and also low trading fees. What we can see also is Coinbase are without a doubt the most expensive here. They charge 0.4 to 0.6%, which is absolute multiples more than any of the other exchanges. Now, you do get this Coinbase trustworthiness and public listed entity kind of branding here, but it is way more expensive to trade on Coinbase, and that's why I don't do it personally, but they do have many other good features. Now let's look at fiat currency on and off ramps for these exchanges. What is a fiat currency on and off ramp? It's the ability to either deposit or withdraw fiat currency from the exchange, so you can actually cash in and out of your crypto. All of these exchanges do offer it, but they have many different services, and it actually depends which country that you live in, and also, where your ID card is from. Because if you want to deal with fiat currency in and out of these platforms, you do have to perform KYC, which is your ID card or passport, and with the country that you're actually in. When you're in a country, it's then going to give you the fiat currency options. So as an example here on BitGet, you can click down to deposit or withdraw fiat currency. And on BitGet, it's going to give you these options, which is Euro and GBP, and then Russian, Ukrainian, and Brazilian currencies. So if we choose Euro, they actually support SEPA transfers, no problem. So if you're in the Eurozone, really easy. It's going to arrive within 2 days, and it's completely for free. Now, that's for a bank transfer. If you go to credit or debit card, then you're going to be able to use more currencies, which you can see here. So there are loads. However, with cards, it's usually way more expensive. So cards are going to be a few percent in terms of a trading fee, whereas bank transfers are mostly free most of the time. So if you look for a deposit of $100, you'll be receiving $95. So you're paying, let's say 5% as a fee right here, which is obviously crazy. 5% is too much. That is because you're using a card rather than a bank transfer. So this depends on where you live and where your KYC details are from. So as an example here and a brief overview, Binance used to have great fiat currency on and off ramps, not so much anymore, more of a crypto to crypto exchange now. If you want to use a card, you can still do that, or Google and Apple Pay, you're paying around 1.8%. There are ways that you can actually just deposit cash through other applications like Advanced Cash. So you need that application, have money in there, and then send it to Binance. For Bybit, they have slightly better options than Binance. GBP, USD, Euro, you can actually do bank transfers or what's known as a transfer from another app, like a finance application like Zen or Advanced Cash. BitGet are really great for GBP and Euro and some European currencies. MEXC also are fantastic for Euro, not so much for anything else. Now, Coinbase, most of the time have the best fiat currency options. Whichever country you're in, they're probably going to have the best fiat currency on and off ramps, which is why I've included them in this video. So if you're in the States, you can use a wire easily. They even link up PayPal if you want to withdraw funds from the platform. FPS in the UK, SEPA in Europe, and many other fiat currency gateways for Coinbase. What a lot of people will do is use the best fiat currency option for them. And then from there, you can just switch it into crypto, withdraw the crypto from the platform to another exchange, and then take advantage of cheaper trading fees on a different exchange. And so you can, of course, have more than one exchange account open at any one time. Like I said, I'll leave links to all of these exchanges below because if you are new, deposit and trading bonuses are obviously very good, so may as well take advantage of that. And now what I'll do is look at the trading platforms on all of these exchanges. Now, 4 of these use what I would call industry standard platforms. So you have, a layout with key information, and then you can go ahead and enter your trades. So what we have here is Binance, which is really the industry standard, the biggest in the industry in terms of trading volumes and the products that they offer. So they give you a chart in the middle from TradingView. TradingView is also industry standard, and you get it on 4 of the exchanges for free. So that's very good. We can see that in the middle. And then we have the key bits of information, which is the order book for the asset that we're trading right here and the price. So we can see that we're trading Bitcoin at the moment. So you can choose in the search box, whichever you want to trade. Maybe you want to trade ETH. So we'll switch to ETH right here. And that will switch all of that information for us. And now we have the price of Ethereum down here. We also have the chart for Ethereum, which we can use with technical analysis. We can change everything around. If you want to know more about that, I have platform guides for all of these platforms that go through the entire platform in terms of getting fiat currency on and off and trading on them. So I'll leave those linked in the description as well. But you have the price right here. And now we have the order box with buying and selling, and we can enter the price that we want to trade at and the amount that we want to trade, and then simply enter our trades here. And all of your orders will be down at the bottom. This is industry standard, and it looks like this, although if you go to the top right, you can actually switch between 3 different layouts, although all of the information is very similar. As we can see, Bybit, very similar in terms of what it offers. It just moves around the details. So we have the trading view charting in the middle, have the price of the asset right here, and we have a buy and sell box where we just flick between buy and sell. fairly easily. So you don't have two different boxes like Binance, but you can just flick through buy and sell and then search for the assets that you want to trade down here, favorite any that you want to favorite, and just have easily accessible right there. We have MEXC as well, which again looks more like Binance, but you can change around these settings. So we're trading Bitcoin here with the price, trading view in the middle, the two different boxes that we put our assets or put our trades into. And then we have BitGet, which again, it's exact same layout. So you have the same information each time, which is the trading price of the asset that you're looking at, buy and sell boxes, and the assets that you want to trade right there. And it's as simple as that for buying and selling crypto. Now, a little bit different is Coinbase. The design is a little bit different. The layout is a little bit different. You don't get trading view charting. At least you can't see that you get it. Now, for the most part, all of the same tools that are actually available on the left-hand side. So you have trend lines that you can draw. So you can draw trend lines on the chart just like you would with TradingView. You have brushes where you can make drawings and a few others. However, TradingView is far more robust. So on BitGet here, you can see a lot more types of drawings that you can make on the chart. You can look at long and short positions, which is like this. So you can actually see if you were trading, how much you would make if you got in and out at a certain level. On Coinbase, it's a little bit more difficult to do this, and some of these options aren't here. So you don't get TradingView charting, which is unfortunate. But you have a buy and sell on the right-hand side, which is very similar. And this is very, very Coinbase. It's a little bit different to what the industry standard would be, but you get most of what you need on here in terms of trading. The charting isn't as good as the others, in my opinion, but it might be good for just simple use cases. If you do hold crypto in your own blockchain wallets, then it may be easier for you to use a decentralized exchange rather than sending it back into the centralized exchange every time to trade. Now, centralized exchanges are usually cheaper, and so it's just a lot easier for people to trade the coins that they want. You don't pay any gas fees on those exchanges, but holding crypto on exchanges isn't really recommended for the most part. So we can sometimes use DEXs as well, which can actually be fairly cheap and definitely convenient. So we'll look at automated market makers, stable swaps, and then aggregators right here. Just some options that you might want to use if you can do. So firstly, we'll look at Uniswap. Uniswap is by far and away the biggest exchange in terms of trade volume on the decentralized side. It's not even close. What you can do is link up a wallet and then trade one asset for another. It needs to be a wallet that is linked to Ethereum and Ethereum style blockchains. So if you come up to the top on Uniswap, you can see Ethereum, Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism, BNB chain, Avalanche, Base from Coinbase as well. If you have assets on these chains, you can link the chains up to Uniswap and then swap one asset for another. As long as the asset is supported on the chain, you can just swap it, and it's very, very easy. Now, every time you use a blockchain, you pay gas. Although these days with Arbitrum, Optimism, Polygon, Base, fees are very, very low, and you get, most of the security of what you're looking for. So there are cheap ways to do this now, and you'll be paying around 0.3% or so for trading on Uniswap. Now, Uniswap is a decentralized exchange, meaning anyone can put any token on there that they want, fake ones, real ones. Liquidity pools can have any trading fees that they want, usually around 0.3, maybe 0.1%, something like that, maybe 0.25%. Uniswap is by far and away the biggest, and you'll find all of the top coins on here to trade. Now, the biggest competitor to Uniswap is PancakeSwap. PancakeSwap basically takes Uniswap's code, changes it around a little bit, and then you get PancakeSwap, different branding and different support. Ethereum and BNB Smart Chain right here, Polygon, ZK EVM, Arbitrum one. So you can see a lot of the cheaper chains, a lot of gaming type tokens are traded on PancakeSwap. A lot of people use it. Actually, there are more users on PancakeSwap, but the trade volume is a lot lower. So you can trade one asset for another. If you have ETH, or if you have any other token, you can just very simply swap one for the other right here. And you do pay a little bit cheaper fees for the most part, around 0.25% on PancakeSwap. So you might want to check it out. Now, if you are trading on a blockchain, especially Ethereum style chains, then what you can actually do is just use an aggregator. So what an aggregator does is take all of the different decentralized exchanges out there and it just scans their prices and tells you exactly what the cheapest way to trade is at that current time. So if you want to trade, as the example here on 1 inch, ETH, and I'm going to swap that into USDC, it tells me down here what the cheapest trade is. So you can see there's PancakeSwap here, there's Uniswap, and then V1, V2, V3, all of these different things. None of it matters. Uniswap 1 inch will just say the cheapest way to trade right now, if you press this button, is using 1 inch. And what they can sometimes do is use Uniswap or use PancakeSwap or split the order into different exchanges, and they try and get you the cheapest or the best trade execution for the trade that you want to execute at that time. Ethereum is supported, Arbitrum, Optimism, BNB Chain, Polygon, as you can see. So most people that do trade on exchanges and use DEXs will mostly use an aggregator like 1 inch just to get the cheapest fees. Now we'll look at trading crypto futures and using leverage. A lot of people want to use leverage and trade shorter term. All of these centralized exchanges that I've showed you do support this, except for Coinbase. They don't have the option at all, unless you're a professional investor and you have to prove certain things. Now, all of these other exchanges like Binance, Bybit, they all have KYC, and your country may not allow you to trade derivatives and futures unless you are a professional investor. And so you have to go through that check. And if you are a professional, you have a certain amount of assets and trade history, then you can trade derivatives. If not, then they won't allow you to do that. Now, the other option is to use decentralized exchanges, which also a lot of people do. In terms of the trading platforms, everything is exactly the same on the centralized side. You have a trading platform like this with the ability to go long, benefiting from price rises, or short, benefiting from price falls. And then you can choose an amount of leverage. Usually up in the top right-hand corner, you can click the leverage right here, and then you just choose how much leverage that you want to take. Of course, with all the risk warnings, and if you can or cannot actually use this feature. What is leverage? Which when the exchange gives you an amount of money to trade based on what you have in your account. So if you have $1,000 with 5x leverage, you can open a position worth $5,000. The $1,000 that you have is there to fund any potential losses on that trade. So a 20% loss on a 5,000 position wipes out all of your collateral, and you have to live to fight another day. We can see the trading system on Binance, which is by far the biggest in terms of trade volumes. Almost exactly the same, almost identical really on Bybit. Again, very similar with the trade leverage up in the top right. And then we look at MEXC. So again, absolutely identical in terms of the trade layout and how you trade crypto futures. We also have BitGet here, identical with what you can trade, the amount of leverage that you can take. Let's look at futures trading fees as well. You can take a snapshot here. Binance amongst the cheapest with Bybit as well. MEXC do give 0% in terms of maker fees. This is, again, maybe a short-term incentive. But what I would say is just make sure that the total cost is the best. So trading fees plus any spread, that's the difference between buy and sell price. You want to make sure you're getting the best trade overall, and you want to make sure you have a lot of liquidity. Binance and Bybit, definitely the top two in terms of trading futures with crypto as well. So I stick to Binance and Bybit. There are more and more decentralized exchanges as well offering perpetuals and futures trading. I'll just highlight two of them here. The first one is Apex Exchange. This is actually Bybit just on-chain. Bybit invested in Apex, and so this is a kind of on-chain Bybit experience. And then PancakeSwap actually does perpetuals trading as well, which I'll show you. So on PancakeSwap, you can go to perpetual here, and it takes you through to what would look like an online or a centralized order book for trading futures in a particular asset. So there's a few right here. These are actually on ETH or BNB chain, so you can connect a wallet and actually trade. And then Apex Pro or Apex Exchange, very, very similar to Bybit, where you can use limit orders, market orders. What you actually do here is you just send in some blockchain assets to a wallet, and then you trade using off-chain data availability. So you don't actually each and every time have a blockchain transaction. You just send assets into a wallet, trade with them, and then whatever the assets are worth at the end of it, you can then send them back out of the wallet to your own wallet there. So it's a different trading experience, but this is actually on-chain, slightly more decentralized than a centralized exchange. So these are the top crypto exchanges around right now. However, crypto exchanges are not banks, so we should get in, do our business, and then leave with our assets and keep them in self-custody. I'll leave all of this information down in the description below so you can make an informed decision. And the deposit and trading bonuses I'll link below too. If you want tutorial videos on how to use all of these exchanges, they'll be down in the descriptions under the useful videos section. I'm James, it's MoneyZG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.